Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dose of District 8 4-H. My name is Megan Schaefer. I'm the District 8 4-H Program Specialist, and this week I am joined by our District Council Vice Chairman, Mia Meehan and Harlie Groom. This week we have a fun topic. We're going to talk all about getting ready to run for District Council because that application process is coming up pretty quickly for most districts across the state. And so with that, we're going to dive right in. Girls, welcome. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
So we're just going to get started with you guys telling us a little bit about who you are and where you're from, and then we'll dive into our topic. Who wants to go first?
Mia, do you want to go first? You want me to?
Sure. So my name is Mia Meehan. I'm from Johnson County, and I've been involved in pigs and photographies. My family has been doing 4-H and FFA for about 40 years now, so it was kind of like a tradition that I was supposed to be in. So, but I'm really glad that I found the most in 4-H. So it's my little introduction.
Awesome. Love it. Where are you from, Mia?
Oh, I'm from Grandview.
Johnson County? Yep.
Johnson
awesome.
County. Yes. Hello, I'm Harlie Groom. I'm also from Johnson County, and I live in Cleburne, Texas. I've been involved in 4-H for 7 or 8 years now, and my main projects are meat judging, showing livestock, which is cattle and pigs, and then just some other things on the side. I've done, Duds to Dazzle and Food Challenge and all of that.
Awesome. These ladies are downplaying their accomplishments quite a bit because they are both very accomplished in their 4-H projects. Very, very well respected and very prominent in all the projects that they do. And so we are excited to dive into this topic with them. I finally got both of them on my district council, and I'm very excited to have had them for this year. And so we want to talk a little bit about that, starting with what made you want to run for district council?
Oh boy. I feel like for me, when I first joined 4-H, one of my first things because I joined pretty late in the year and I was little, and so the first thing that I went to was county camp. And when we go to county camp, we have all of our teen leaders and all of that are volunteering and putting on the entire camp for us. And I was just so inspired by seeing not only the district officers, but seeing other people, other leaders from other clubs help put together such an awesome camp. And that made me I always looked up to it. I was like, Mom, when can I be one of the big kids? When can I be one of the big kids? And so I think that was one of my biggest sparks of inspiration when it comes to running for council, and also giving back to the 4-H and all of the above when it comes to just projects and all of that, with so much help and everything that has just grown me into the person that I am today. I wanted to give back, and so I saw that opportunity and I took it.
Awesome. Mia, what made you run for district council?
So, I mean, I grew up with a lot of district council officers from Johnson County, and they kind of told me you could do it. And I was like, okay, I was really shy. I didn't want to get out of my comfort zone, get out of my shell. But I had all these adult or teen leaders that were like, you could do it. You should do it. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a chance. And I'm so happy I did, because now I can be the one that can kind of be like, hey, I see this potential in you. I think you should run. So
yeah, awesome. Yes, Johnson County has had a very rich history in many district council officers and many district council presidents or chairmen. We call them chairmen, but lots and lots of them. Okay, so on our road to run for district council, is district council what we started with, or did we start somewhere else first to kind of get a little bit of stuff underneath us? Let's talk a little bit about that road. Did we start with something like a club office or a county office first to help us get prepared to run for that district office?
I started with the club officer, and then I went a little to county, and then after I did those two, I was like, you know what? Time to run for district.
Yeah.
So I think starting as a club officer is the best way to get a little bit of like a knowledge about what is expected of you when you start running for those higher councils.
Yes, and that's where you really get to do the trial and error when it comes to chapter conducting side of it and parliamentary procedure, because you can mess up a lot more in the local 4-H side of it, and then that's where you learn more when you get into the county and all that. But I started off with local 4-H too, and I was actually in 3 of them. Why? I really don't know, but it was worth it, and then I ended up taking that next step for county, and then here we are now.
Awesome. So, what helped you prepare for running for district council? Mia lost her video. It's okay. It's all good. What helped you get prepared to run for district council?
Well, a lot of support, a lot of help. Our county extension agents, especially Justin, helped us a lot when it came to that. I think I can speak for both me and Mia when it comes to that side of the support. And also getting back to past officers and asking them questions and what the process was like. And then because me and Mia were from the same county, we got to kind of work together and help each other, and yeah.
Yeah, Mia, what else did you do to prepare?
I want to say like I had a lot of support from my friends and my extension agent like Harlie, but I mean the person that believed in me the most is my mom. So I mean I would like she helped me figure out like what would make a good application, what would make good interview skills, how to give a speech that would like wow everybody. So I mean my mother is the one that really helped me prepare the most for this.
Awesome. Yeah, so let's talk about that process for a second. Here in District 8, we're a little different than some of the other districts, in the fact that we have a 3-part process, really kind of a 4-part process to go through to run for district office. We start with an application, and you put that application in. There's some questions on there that you have to answer and go through all of that. And then those applications are given a score and scored on a 100 point scale, I think, and then inserted into a formula that is then combined with an interview score. So every candidate has to go through an interview. The process for the last few years has been in-person interviews. We are, I think, going to switch that up a little bit this year and maybe do some virtual interviews. I think those would be a little easier for all
I
of us.
had
But
to.
yeah, Harley had to do because you were at Tech, right?
I
That
was
week
at
at
the
meat
Texas
judging camp.
Tech meat judging clinic, and I had to use Dr. Miller's office to do my interview. And
Yeah, yeah. Um, so then we have an interview. Those interviews are then scored. Every score goes into our little formula. And then the third piece of it is every candidate gives a speech and is given a thought question to answer. And that third piece of the formula is the popular vote. And so that popular vote is then taken on the last day of camp, and we select our officers from that. We also add in a fourth component. It's not scored in any way, but it is one that is pretty crucial to getting to know the candidates, and that is our Your Turn to Lead process, where the candidates have to come up with an icebreaker, and then we whittle those down, and I put them into groups based on the type of icebreaker that they submit. And then they have to carry out that icebreaker sometimes like 5 or 6 times, right, in a night, and teach those icebreakers to the campers that are there at our leader lab. And so it's kind of a unique process that we go through. There are some other districts that do lots of other things. This is the one that works best for us. And so in the end, it really makes a difference that if you have good pieces to put together as part of that district council puzzle. So all 3 pieces are equally as important. They're weighted a little differently in the formula, but they're all very important to help with your total score. So, um, okay, so knowing that, and knowing that sometimes those pieces, like an interview, will scare people off. Having to
Mhm.
give a speech in front of people will scare people off. It really makes a lot of people super nervous. So what piece of advice would you give to someone who is on the fence about doing those things? What would you tell them?
Make like the Nike sign and just do it. That is my go-to saying when it comes to stuff like this, because I was very anxious about it, and I was like, okay, no, I can't do it. Like I'm not as experienced, like all of this stuff. I can't do it. I just kept telling myself I couldn't do it. And my mom sat me down one day and she was like, if you keep telling yourself that you can't do it, you're not going to do it. But going along with that, my biggest advice is really to just have faith in yourself and ask for help. Like, ask for help all the time. Even if you don't think you need help on something, just ask a question, like, ask questions and try to just engage with, especially this part of it is get out there, like go, even if it's just in your county, like go and help at these community service things and county council meetings and all of that, so that you can kind of get a taste of what it would be like to have a higher position like being a district council officer.
Mia, what would you tell somebody that's on the fence?
I would tell somebody that's on the fence that you miss most of the shots you don't take and don't be afraid of failure. Because the first year that I ran for district officer, I did not make it. And then the next year I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try again. So it's really just you want to have the want and the passion to do it. That would be my piece of advice. The passion, and then the not being afraid of failure, and then just not being afraid to take risks.
So, Mia, let's talk about that for a second. You didn't make it the first time that you ran, right?
No, no ma'am.
But you got back on that horse and ran again. What made you want to try for a second time?
Um, I wanted to try again because I knew that I was a little nervous and I didn't give it my all the first time. I didn't make as many connections as I should have. And it was also my senior year, and I wanted to do as much as I could before, like it was, I think, 10 years of 4-H, and I wanted to make sure that I could do the most. And I also wanted to do it for my extension agent, who I knew believed in me, and I wanted to prove to him and everybody else that I could do it.
Awesome. Yeah, I would agree. If you're on the fence about it, just try it. You might not get it that year, but you know what? You can come back again and try it all over again. And you might find out that going through the process, it wasn't for you, or it pushes you to go harder. I think that there is a place for everybody at the district and state levels, and you just got to figure out where that place is. And so trying is super awesome. Okay, so um, what about if we have some kids out there that maybe aren't as fortunate as you all, that have a history of awesome district council, state council officers there in your county? Maybe they're the first ones and they are not sure where to start. What should they do? Where should they start?
I think you should start off by reaching out to the council that we already have this year, because I can tell you, I can speak for all of us on the behalf of them when I say that all of us are willing to help. Like, we're not just doing this for ourselves, and we're doing it to lead. And so part of that is helping our future leaders who are going to be there when, because half of our council right now are seniors, and we're leaving next year. And we want to make sure that whoever we have coming up behind us is well equipped to fulfill our shoes, and that they feel confident when they go into that position. And so reach out to the current council. Also, when it comes to speeches and stuff, like look up YouTube videos on other speeches and stuff like that. They're all over YouTube, internet. State council at large delegate videos are also posted online, and that's very helpful. Um, and also, like, I don't know how it is for most counties, but try and reach out to your extension agent. Miss Megan, I'm sure that you would be willing to help too. Like,
Absolutely.
interview questions, all of that. There's always someone out there that wants to help. You just gotta ask.
Yeah. I've been a specialist for almost 5 years now. But I've been working with district council officers for a long time, for my entire extension career, which is almost 12 years. So every year I have only ever had one student reach out to me and ask me for interview questions to prep with. And that was this year. One student reached out and asked me those questions. Um, I send some questions and stuff, but one student wanted some extra help, and that was it. But I'm here. I'm willing to help. Just email me, and I'll send them to you. Mia, what would you say? Where do you think they should start if they don't know where to start?
I agree with Harlie reaching out to the current, but I think also reaching out to like past officers, maybe in like other areas, or like if you know maybe an adult that's now a 4-H mom or dad that has been a district officer. I think reaching out to past would also be very beneficial, and kind of finding a place to start.
Okay, awesome. Um, we're gonna kind of switch gears for a second, because I have you trapped here on this call for a minute. We're gonna pick your brains about being graduating seniors, and some of the things that you would tell those that are coming behind you, whether they're running for district council or not. We want to pick your brains and get all the wisdom and knowledge that you guys have to share. So, as graduating seniors, is there anything that you wish you would have done differently? Something you wish you would have tried for, or something you would have tried for sooner, or something you didn't participate in but you wish you would have? Is there anything that you would have done differently?
I wish that I would have run for state council. That's what I like. I don't know. As a little girl, I was like, I want to be the person in the green jacket, and then I was too scared, and time caught up with me, and as a senior, I didn't apply for it. So
I think for me, I wish I did public speaking from the beginning. I always set it off. I always was like, no, I don't need to do that. Like, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't think I can do it. It's always the confidence part of it always just pulled me back. It was like, I can't do it. And it's like, you can do it. Like, you can do it. If you can talk right now, you can do it. And so, I think that was the biggest thing for me is start out with public speaking and all of that stuff earlier, because it would have, I think, exposed me to kind of get more out there and got me out of my bubble faster.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you wish that you would not have let the fear of something keep you from doing it.
Absolutely, like what Mia
Yep.
said.
Yep. Okay. What is something that you would love to repeat? Like it was just the most amazing experience that you had and you would love to go back and do it all over again?
For me, it was the road to our nationals trip for meat judging. I would repeat that 1,000 times over. That was one of the coolest experiences that I've had.
Awesome.
for me, I would repeat Surge last year because I don't know what it was, but the energy at Surge last year was just on top. Like it
That's
was
awesome.
such
I
a
love
fun
that.
camp. I would love to go back and experience that camp again, especially running for officer with all of my friends. That made it so much more fun.
That's that makes my heart so happy because it was a real crap show behind the scenes. So I love that you
All the
loved it so
technical
much.
difficulties.
Technical difficulties, weather, people.
Mm.
It was just it was a lot. But I'm so glad that is the one that you would go back and repeat. That makes me so happy. Okay. Last thing. Well, I have two more things, but this one is the last like interview question. What is one piece of advice you have for our 4-H members out there? Anything that you can leave them with.
I think mine would go back to don't be afraid of failure and don't be afraid to take risks. Because I mean, sitting here wishing I was a state officer, like that's like my biggest regret is not going for it. So if you have a dream, take it.
Awesome.
Mine is stay involved, go to county camp, go to Surge, and just dance. Like, if somebody asks you to dance, go dance and talk to them. And just be friendly and make more friends. Don't let anything set you back. Don't let fear set you back. You're gonna regret it if you come home and you're like, and your mom asks you, and you're especially on the way home from like county camp, and you're little, and you're like, what did you do? And you don't have anything to say because you stayed in the corner, you didn't dance, you didn't talk to anybody or anything like that. So you're not losing anything from going and just doing everything that there is handed to you.
Awesome. Okay, last question. And this is not related to 4-H at all. This is just a question for Mia and Harlie. What sounds like the most fun to you right now? So many answers. What sounds like the most fun?
Honestly, this is so silly, but tanning sounds really fun right now.
I love it. You know, it's been raining for like 17,000 days, and so the sun is shining sort of today, and I'm all about it.
Even though it's like 49 degrees.
You know, I'm gonna put on a coat and just go sit outside in the sunshine.
Yeah.
Mia, what sounds like the most fun to you right now?
Honestly, going to a concert. That sounds like the hype I want right now.
Taylor Swift?
Yeah, probably. I would definitely go to that concert
Okay,
again.
so I thought about you the other day because the Eras tour is on Disney Plus, and
Yes.
like I had it on, I was jamming out, and I was like, oh man, I would have loved to be at this concert. It was so fun.
Oh my gosh, I went with my mom, and it was like the best experience ever.
Yeah, it was it looked like such a fun concert. I quite enjoying it from the comfort of my house, without all the other people there, but I could see where the energy would just be so awesome and so impactful. So, that is all I have for you guys. That's the end of our episode today. Uh, be sure and come back next week. This episode is airing as episode number 4, and so episode number 5 that will come out will feature Paisley Grosky and Kenley Gardner talking about something. I don't remember what the topic is, but come back for that one. It'll be a great time. And if you're looking for something to do or something that sounds fun, sign up for camps. You know, we're in that season right now where it's time to plan out our summers and to plan out what camps we want to go to. These girls mentioned our county camp here in District 8. We do a unique camp that's called Southeast District 8 County Camp, and it's open to all the counties in District 8. And it's a very unique one where our teen leaders put it on for our younger kids, and we over a weekend out in Palestine, and we just have a big time. Other camps that are out there, the 4-H Center has a ton of camps that they're hosting every week during the summer, but we will also host our District 8 Leadership Lab for our high school students. And this year we'll be in New Braunfels at a hotel, which is kind of different for us. But we're gonna go to Schlitterbahn one day, and it'll be a great time. And so we invite you all to join us for that. If you're in District 8, if you're not in District 8, be sure and check with your local county extension agent for those camp opportunities. So with that, we say thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.